So how is digitization, really creating opportunities for consumer goods brands today? What do you see?
Terrific, Diane. The way I look at it is it's creating opportunity out of chaos.
Yeah.
So if you think of retailers, they are used to this chaos of the consumer. And so as digitization came along, whether it's an e-commerce site, whether it's mobile, they knew to respond, and they were out ahead of the game because they had to.
Yeah.
They were seeing it, they were getting forced to by everybody from Amazon to other specialty B2C sites. But when it comes back to the brand, they were still able to live with television and other means of communication.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's not just communication they're having to deal with, it's communication and engagement and also transaction. So the brands are now being forced, in terms of the pressure side of things that they're facing, they're being forced to actually sell directly to consumers, which is not necessarily something a lot of them have done. They're also being able to force to have a different experience for those consumers than just putting something out on a video,
right,
high glossy, slick Madison Avenue
right,
kind of thing that you
right,
know from Mad Men.
Exactly.
And so the transition now is you have to think of it in terms of B2B2C, business to consumer.
Right.
So they have to think of a lot of orchestration that in the past it was more of a handoff. Throw it over the wall, give it to the retailer, let them take the next thing.
Right.
We do a little air cover with our brand through television and other advertising. Now it's I've got to think about helping that retailer create an experience at the point of sale, at the point of web interaction, at the point of influence. So there's many more places now that are not the same as the same path to purchase that they used to have.
Right.
They've got to be thinking about. So they need this common base to spring from to serve all those constituents.
Marketing mix. And what about, so with opportunities there arises challenges and pressures, obviously. So now, looking on the other side of the coin, what is, digitization is obviously causing some pressures, obviously, on these brands as well. So talk a little bit more about that.
Well, the pressures that people feel, and you saw this, as I said earlier, with retailers, where they were forced to try to reconcile the web operations with their traditional stores and create an omnichannel thing, which a lot of them struggled from a customer service perspective. They struggled from the point of view of actually being able to buy online, pick up in store. So they have those challenges. But if you push it back to the manufacturer and think about the areas of functional expertise, or silos, as a lot of people call them, now they're being pressured to really collaborate together in a fundamentally different way. So if I'm a product manager, I have to have not only the product, I've got to have the content that I hand over to the marketing executive, who then hands it over to their counterpart on the sales side, hands it over together to the customer and to the end customer. So orchestrating that experience really relies on a set of consumable content that is a single repository that serves all of those different constituents. And when you're able to connect to all those constituents, you're able then to create an experience. But it requires that you have a single view of all that content in order to be able to really do that in an effective way, which means we're finally getting to the stage where brands and retailers actually have a much greater incentive to collaborate.
To work together.
If you think of the efficient consumer response, collaborative planning, forecasting, replenishment, CPFR, all these different acronyms, well, they weren't always working so well because that nature of really wanting to collaborate wasn't there. But on content, everybody wants more content. Consumer wants it, the brand wants it, retailers demanding it from the brand, so creating a continuous enrichment stream of content that's consumable by the end customer is something they have an incentive to work together on.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your insight and your perspective
Absolutely.
around this. Great
Always
to have
a pleasure,
you here
Diana.
at the event.
And great to be here.
Thank you.